Alright, so this is another video that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make it really quick because I don't think a lot of people really understand what's going on out here. And I'm really gonna try to stress that they do. A lot of people do not seem to understand the quote-unquote difference between MGTOW and TFL. And here's the thing. The difference between the two is that there is no difference, okay? There is no difference, really, between MGTOW and TFL in the way that most people think, okay? You have to understand what MGTOW is. First off, let's talk about what TFL is. TFL means total forced loneliness. And TFL is basically, it relates to the whole incel idea, which is basically that there's a set or a subset of men who struggle mightily with women to the point where they're basically involuntarily celibate, which is to say they almost never have a girlfriend, they almost never have sex. Okay, that's TFL. And MGTOW stands for basically men going their own way. And it's basically the idea that as a man in society, in modern society, you would be better off if you basically did your own thing. Don't mess with women, don't bother women, have your own hobbies, do your own thing. And nowadays, MGTOW is basically trying to tell people don't mess with women at all, even as like casual sex partners. But I remember back in the day, because I've been following MGTOW for over 5 years. Back in the day, it used to be like, you can mess with women, or you could even have them as girlfriends or live-in girlfriends, and like, or you can have them as casual sex partners or whatever. You know, non-live-in girlfriends or whatever. Just don't get married. That used to be what a lot of people in MGTOW were saying, 4 or 5 years ago. But recently, it changed from that to like, don't mess with women at all in any capacity, unless maybe she's a literal whore that you pay cash money for sex. That's it. That used to, it used to be a lot of MGTOWers were cool with people having like regular girlfriends, just don't marry her. But now it's turned into don't even have any women at all in your life, right? Now a lot of MGTOW people, they want to make it seem as if they're different from TFLers. Like they're different from TFLers, and they're the cool people, and TFLs are the real losers. MGTOWers can get a woman if they wanted, they just choose not to, and other sorts of nonsense, right? But that's not really true. Here's the truth of the matter. TFL is not a movement. TFL is a condition. Okay, TFL is a condition. TFL is what men suffer. Men suffer TFL. Okay? And then from that, it branches off into all these other different things. When you suffer TFL, you can have different responses to TFL. You can suffer TFL. You can suffer TFL and then basically be like, okay, well, I'm suffering TFL. I almost never have a girlfriend, I almost never get laid, or I never have a girlfriend and I never get laid. So I'm going to take the PUA route, and I'm going to learn how to talk to women more, how to be good with women. I'm going to learn all of these different things. going to learn all of these different things in order to be good with women because I suffer from TFL. Then you have the MGTOW route that you can take after you suffer TFL. And that would basically be, man, screw these women, and, I'm not going to deal with them anymore. Or, I'm just going to have them as girlfriends or as casual sex partners, but I'm not going to marry them. You have some MGTOWers who say that. And then you have other MGTOWers who say, I'm not going to deal with women in any capacity whatsoever. And one could almost argue that that's kind of following more along the TFL path, just having no contact with women whatsoever. But again, you have to understand, MGTOW is not a condition. MGTOW is a reaction, okay? It's something that you can choose to do. But the condition is TFL. Now, when you suffer from TFL, you can either choose to be MGTOW or you can choose to be a PUA. But again, there's a difference here, okay? TFL is what MGTOWers suffer. All MGTOWers suffer from TFL, whether they want to admit it or not. All MGTOWers suffer from TFL. And even all PUA type people, pickup artists, they suffer from TFL, whether they want to admit it or not. They all suffer from it. TFL is the underlying condition behind all of these different things, from the red pill to PUA to MGTOW. They all suffer at its core from TFL. You have to understand that, okay? And when you understand that, then you're able to finally get everything else. Alright? So yeah, there is no distinction between MGTOW people and TFL people. There's no distinction. It's the same thing. Some TFLers are just people who are more open to admitting how little success they have with women. And a lot of MGTOWers are basically people who want to be like, you can't fire me because I quit. I choose not to deal with women. No, dude, you don't choose not to deal with women. If it was easy for every guy to have a woman who was like his wife and, she lived with them, she loved him or whatever, maybe she had sex with them once or twice every week, 98% of guys would take that option if they could. Okay, no one would just choose to be MGTOW forever. Now, some guys, they might choose to be MGTOW until they're 25 or they're 30, maybe 35. But eventually, all guys would choose to have a wife who actually loved them or whatever if they were straight, okay? Eventually, all guys would choose that. So why do you have so many guys not doing that? It's because they can't, because they're TFL, okay? So you have all these MGTOWers, they want to make it seem like they could get a woman at any time or whatever, and they choose to be, MGTOW and not deal with women. No, you didn't choose not to deal with women. Women made you not deal with them, okay? Women, they didn't choose you. It's not like you chose not to deal with women. Women didn't choose you, okay? And, I'm not exactly saying that's your fault, especially in this satanic world. There are a lot of reasons for why they didn't choose you. But I'm saying they really didn't choose you. So let's not go around pretending like I could have this many girlfriends or this hot wife or whatever, but I just choose to be MGTOW all my life. And that's not what's going on here. So anyway, that's just a little video about the differences between TFL and MGTOW. And, one last thing I think I will do is, if you've watched the video this long, I hope you hear this. What's really going on here is that this world is satanic. Actual controlled by Satan. Whether you would care to admit it or not, it's satanic. It is definitely satanic. And one thing you need to understand about that is, with this world being satanic, Satan is in control. It's really, I guess, some sort of non-human super smart entity known as Satan, who's really in control of the world and is responsible for these women acting so crazy like they do. And you might want to say, no, that's not true, I'm an atheist and all this other type of crap. But, I mean, do you honestly think women could come up with this on their own? I'm sorry, but women could not engineer this assault against men purely on their own with no help. Like, you know, are you kidding me? Women just couldn't do it. And as far as men doing it, well, maybe you have a little bit of a better chance saying that regular men did it. But even then, it wouldn't make any sense, because basically, I mean, if you're a capitalist or whatever, even if you're a communist, it doesn't make any sense not to have healthy families, you know, growing and reproducing. That doesn't make any sense, because basically you want to keep people working. You want to keep a society running. You can't do that if the basic building block of society is being destroyed, okay? I mean, you think they were destroying families back in the 1970s Soviet Union? I mean, that is totally ridiculous, okay? You look at the families in those periods, they probably had a much stronger sense of the men being the head of the household and what have you there than we do now in modern America, okay? So, you know, it's not necessarily a communist thing to want to destroy families. It's not a capitalist or corporate thing to want to destroy families. If it was just rich men in charge, or powerful men, or men who were communists, or even men who were Jews or whatever, these men, they wouldn't want to destroy families and people getting with each other and breeding and having kids, because they're ultimately destroying the system that gives them, you know, such power and wealth, okay? They're destroying society, but they benefit from society, so why would they want to destroy that, all right? So what's really going on here is that, you know, there's non-human beings who would want to see the structure of humanity completely destroyed. And it has nothing to do with money, has nothing to do with power, or anything like that. You know, it's December 24th, it's Christmas Eve, and I want you to take a look at the price of gas over here. That $3.33. $3.33 for a price of gas. And then, what's this one? $7.77. I don't even know what that's for. But basically, you got your $7.77 right there. And you got your $3.33 for a tank of gas right here. Okay? And this is in the South. Alright? This is in Savannah, Georgia. This is not in like, you know, this is not in like San Francisco or whatever, where everything's just satanic or something, because that's just how they are. Like, this is in the South, and, you know, it's $3.33 for a tank of gas, okay? So, you know, the occult really rules the world, and devil worshippers and Satan rules the world. And until you can understand that, you can't really understand how messed up everything truly is, or how it got this way. It wasn't women, it wasn't men, it wasn't, you know, the Jews or whatever. It's just something that just isn't even human, okay? And they are destroying humanity. And, you know, on that, I'm gonna peace out, and see you guys later.